Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Kevin L. Jackson, Mary Kate Love with you here on Supply Chain Now. Oh, and by the way, my name is Scott Luton. Great to see everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
What's your name again? Oh, I am doing great. I'm up here. I was up here, with my fingers crossed because as we talked before the show, I'm blasting my audience this morning on LinkedIn and X for the first time with the buzz. So we are buzzing all over the place this morning. Looks like it's going well. Hello, everyone.
It is doing well, and it's great to have you back, as always, on the second Monday of each month. And hey, we're joined today by a special co-host, a dynamo in her own right, Mary Kate Love. Mary Kate, how you doing?
Hey, doing great. I also think today is a good day because it's my son's first birthday. So
Ooh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
And what is your son's nickname? You shared with me over the
Yes.
weekend.
So we call his name is Maddox, but we call him Boots. So I don't really know why this stuck. I mean, everybody is calling him Boots. So happy first birthday to Boots.
Love it. Happy
He's
birthday.
gonna hate you.
I know. Everyone says it. Everyone says it.
Oh, awesome. Well, hey, welcome in everybody. And as Kevin mentioned, yeah, we have Ajit tuned in via YouTube. Great friend of the show.
Hey, Bev.
Tuned in via LinkedIn. Great to see Bev here. And Jason via LinkedIn. Appreciate that. Love the show, he says. Great to see you here with us. And Ajit says, many happy returns of the day. Well said, Ajit. Hey, Allison, another outstanding co-host and
Yes.
industry dynamo. Allison says, happy first birthday, Boots. What a great nickname. I agree, Allison. I agree. Okay, we got so much to get to here today. Today we're going to be discussing, of course, a variety of news and developments across global business and with an extra helping of all things technology today, because on the second Monday of each month, it's the Digital Transformers edition of The Buzz, right? So, folks, would love to hear from you, as all these folks are in the comments. We'll bring those in throughout the hour. So give us your take in the comments. And if you're listening to the podcast replay, hello. Please consider joining us on live on LinkedIn, YouTube, or some other social media channel of your choosing on Mondays at 12 noon Eastern time. And one last thing, if you enjoy the show today, we'd love for you to share it with your friends, your network, you name it. They'll be glad you did. Okay, Mary Kate and Kevin, we got a ton to get into, but we got to start with one important best wish here, because we want to wish everybody that celebrates a very special holiday. We wish you peace, joy, love, Ramadan, Mubarak from all of our team here. Mary Kate, special holiday across the world, really, right?
Yeah, this is great. I was actually just watching a Netflix special where they dove a little bit deeper into this holiday, and it was super interesting to learn more.
Agreed, Mary Kate. We should lean into these. Holidays are so fascinating, whether they're religious oriented or geographically. I can't say that word today.
Yeah.
Oriented, you name it. Kevin, I bet in your world travels that you sat down and leaned in and had some very interesting conversations around holidays like Ramadan, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing how much your culture links with holidays and how they affect each other. And the fact is, I was just thinking, like Mother's Day. They just had Mother's Day in the UK. I was, Beverly was just joining, and she's in London. And the thing about it is that your friendship, the people you work with, just understanding them and being, I guess, being a friend and being part of the global community. It's important to understand the holidays and the culture and where people are coming from. So,
Well said.
Happy Mother's Day. I think it was last week.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, so if I'm not mistaken, I think it was yesterday, because someone at the Oscars gave a shout out to their mother in the UK from the stage.
You're right. I did.
Yeah.
And the Oscars, of course, that was an incredible, I thought an incredible evening. But all that aside, again, Ramadan Mubarak to all of our friends out there that observe this holy day, a holy month, and very special holiday. Okay, moving right along. And hey, Bev's wishing happy birthdays
Oh, I love this.
to Boots. Gino Pledger is back with us. Great to see you, Gino. I'll see you Wednesday at Modex. Hey, look here, Jason. Supply Chain Now podcast on Spotify is my favorite supply chain management channel. Hey, man,
All right.
Love
thank you
that.
very much. Great to have you here. Okay, so speaking of we love to give resources around here, right? Make these days easier for practitioners around the globe. And to that end, Mary Kate and Kevin, we have got With That Said, which published over the weekend, right? Usually it's our almost weekly newsletter that gives us a little bit of wiggle room in case our weekend plans get too heavy, maybe. We included a variety of stories here related to the U.S. freight market, grocery wars here in the States. A lot of folks may not know that Walmart is the grocery king in the U.S. with 23.6% of the market. How about that? To the global manufacturing industry. I had a great read from Bob Ferrari. Output in the manufacturing sector is on the rise recently in China, India, and Brazil. So if you're in one of those countries, let us know what you're seeing in the manufacturing sector. Plus, you'll always find all of our live events for the upcoming week there. And With That Said, give it a read, and please let us know what you think. And one final twist, Mary Kate and Kevin. Not a big twist, a new twist. If you subscribe to our email list, then you're going to receive With That Said on Tuesday mornings. New perks. So, Kevin, what was your favorite part? Pop quiz. What was your favorite part of With That Said? Did you catch it already, or is it on your to be read?
No, I did. I'm really looking at the manufacturing areas of the world and how they are really interacting and morphing. The BRIC countries
Yes.
are really changing the whole face of international trade, and it's critical. It's important for every country to understand how things are shifting. They used to say that the United States really, drove the global economy. But a lot of things are driving the economy from China right now. And the real estate crisis in China is actually affecting all of the industry sectors there. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to affect manufacturing as we move forward.
Man, that's like a whole show right there, Kevin. Yeah. In that perspective, so much I want to dive into. Mary Kate, as I turn over to you and get your thoughts really quick, I think a lot of folks may not understand one of Kevin's points there. Manufacturing is such an economic engine, no matter what country. It creates so many jobs, so much economic wealth, that it's really important for it to be vibrant, really globally. But your thoughts, Mary Kate, on With That Said, any topic within With That Said?
Yeah, Kevin was way deeper than mine, but I am, that was really, like Scott said, that could be a whole nother show. Totally agree with it. I love newsletters. With That Said is one of my favorite newsletters, both as an industry practitioner, but also just as a consumer. Like, the grocery wars news story, really, that makes me think. I used to work at a grocery store when I was younger in Chicago. Yep. Right now, I'm not loyal to any grocery store because I kind of, based on what I need or how quick I want to be in and out, I'm in the grocery store all the time. But I like putting on a different lens, With That Said, because it's both business oriented, but also kind of, it's news that affects your personal life too.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Mary Kate and Kevin. Outstanding perspective. And I had grocery retail experience as a kid as well, Mary Kate.
No way.
Bagging groceries, taking them out, getting like quarter tips back in the day.
I was just a facer. I faced everything forward. And I still, when I go into the stores, if I take something out, I push the next thing forward because
I like that.
I have to.
I didn't even know that was a title. Facer.
Yeah, facer. That's what it was called. And it's like keeping the aisles intact, like keeping it all.
We called it blocking too. I think it was blocking and facing. Blocking
Yes.
mainly, as I recall, a little bit of bringing things forward, making
Yes.
sure things are
The
straight.
barcodes line up. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And Allison, to your
Educational
question,
show.
right? Whole new show. Allison said, "Yeah, paper or plastic." Back in the day, Allison, I packed more brown
Yes.
grocery bags than I would like to admit. That's a sign of perhaps my age, but great to see you. And also, Allison talks about global manufacturing. The EU is implementing a 1.5 plus billion euro plan to become less reliant on U.S. weapons. We in the U.S. may not see an immediate impact, but this will be an interesting thing to watch if you're in aerospace defense manufacturing. That is a great call out, Allison. And it's probably maybe counterintuitive to what Allison, to maybe how we're interpreting that news. I think that's a great thing for the U.S. military and a great thing for security and peace and freedom really around the globe.
Yeah.
So thank you for adding that, Allison.
I think it's important. I think it's really important. It's probably linked to the increased spending in NATO, to be honest. A lot of the countries are increasing their spend to 3% of GDP. And that the U.S. basically won't be able to supply if that happens across all of the countries. Plus, it actually improves manufacturing jobs and the economy in the EU. So I see it as a win-win-win.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, T-Square's with us here. Y'all are bringing on some good SMC nourishment in this discourse. Great to see you, T-Squared up in the Baltimore area. Great to see you as always. I want to go back to Ajit's point. I like this. Learning and celebrating different cultures is especially a special perk when you're into procurement, isn't it? Ajit, you're sourcing things from around the globe. You learn all kinds of new customs and traditions and different folks. So Ajit, I agree with you.
Can I put a plug in for joining us live? See, this live event, you have this live global interaction. I'm not saying I'm not saying not to look at the replay. The replays are great. But if you come live, look what you're doing. Look what you're missing, you guys that are looking at the replay.
Excellent point and call out. And we may be partial, folks, but excellent call out there. Okay, Mary Kate and Kevin, we got a lot to get into here today, right? A lot to get into here today. I'm going to pop up our first story here. I think we've got about 5 stories to work through here today, and we're 5 minutes behind. That never happens. But hey, we've got so much great comments in the cheap seats, and of course, Mary Kate is here with us. So we got a lot to get into here today. So I want to start with a few specific examples as to how global supply chains are leveraging digital transformation to enhance resilience. And I like a better definition of that word, anti-fragility. Our friends at Technology Record here point out several examples, such as leveraging AI with ERP systems to improve global visibility, reporting, and forecasting accuracy. Man, imagine if we could get a whole bunch more of that. Also, combining manufacturing execution systems, MES, new acronym for some of y'all out there, and generative AI to do things such as being able to maintain lean inventories while still meeting customer demand. Lean is not a bad word, folks. It's not a bad word. So, Kevin, tell us more here, and then we'll get Mary Kate's take as well.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to highlight, last night we had the Oscars, right? And not too long ago, there was a strike that was focused on AI.
Right.
A lot of the actors were upset that AI would steal their jobs or replace them. So people are really getting afraid of AI, that they're going to replace humans. That's not true, right? You can't have AI without humans. And AI positively affects every industry, including the entertainment industry.
Right.
And in supply chain, it improves resilience, right? With ERP, AI users can get cross-departmental insights, so they can understand what's happening over the wall. It creates more efficient processes, improves cost savings, and optimizes operations, these global operations, to improve forecasting accuracy and using these insights from real-time data. Now, MES, the manufacturing execution systems, this is really important for regulatory compliance to keep us safe and make sure our products and services are at the level that they should be.
Right.
Industries like pharmaceuticals, food and beverages, and medical devices, you want the regulatory enforcement there, right? And AI really helps because it can drive industrial automation, lower the cost of production while ensuring regulatory compliance and operational visibility. Generative AI can help employees surface information and raise alarms much faster, as well as help them track and manage these lean inventories. Now, predictive maintenance, AI jumps in there by allowing them to avoid unplanned downtime by predicting when maintenance needs to be done. And with respect to logistics, AI helps to, with automation, firms are able to order, track, and deliver materials that are needed for production on time and on schedule without tying up other valuable resources. They can also link identified supplier risk to the real-time supply chain data to gain deeper insights and improve responsiveness when it comes to outages and disruptions. So, I mean, AI can really help in a lot of facets.
I was going to say, is that all, Kevin? Is that all AI can do? I want to call
what
out.
else?
Yeah, Mary Kate, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I want to pull something out that Kevin said there because I think tremendous advantages are already being found and a lot more to come when it comes to limiting the learning curve for our team members out there and really making training so much more effective. Who can remember the days of weeks and weeks of training based on new program rollouts? Well, I think AI is going to really help make that much more effective and shorter, which is a good thing. Mary Kate, your thoughts back to this article and how, we're finding digital transformation and all that involves powering anti-fragility across global supply chain.
Yeah, I mean, I think +1 to everything Kevin said about what AI can do. And I'm thinking about, the step before that. I was on a project, a huge ERP overhaul that took our systems. I think we had 75 unique systems and we went down to 12 to manage, I think it was like 13 facilities. And putting AI on top of that, making sure all those systems are connected and the AI is receiving the correct data in real time will allow you to reap those benefits that Kevin just listed out. So, it's hard work getting everything kind of lined up, but obviously with the benefits Kevin went through, you can't deny that, right?
Agreed. Man, if I heard you correctly there, going from 75 disparate technology systems to 12.
Yeah, I can still picture that slide in my head that had all the systems listed.
Wow.
And I'm not going to act like it was fun. It was not fun.
Still, but I bet,
But worth it.
Yeah. Oh, so worth it. I can only imagine how much easier and streamlined life was for your team members.
Reporting, trying to report when you had so many disparate systems. Reporting became much, much easier, and we could actually use the data now. Yes,
but Kevin, great point, Mary Kate. That's such a great example, I think, to leverage here. Kevin, we've talked about on previous shows to do things like what these massive, powerful projects that Mary Kate just described. The technology platform's ability to play nice in a sandbox and integrate is really, really important. Kevin, your quick thoughts before we move to the next story.
Well, it highlights the importance of things like industry standards for using AI. I mean, if you have 75 different systems or even 12 different systems that talk in different languages, it could really hurt you in the short term. So it's important for industries to understand AI, learn AI, and also have standard implementations so these systems can leverage AI in a consistent manner. And I think that's where you're going to really see the acceleration of benefits.
Yep.
Completely agree. Yeah, totally agree with that.
Okay, awesome. All right, man. I knew that it was going to be great bringing y'all two together on this show.
Yes.
But we've got a lot to get into, man. This might be a 3-hour buzz. We'll see. Hey, that's not a bad thing. Ajit, love this. Yes, mitigating risk. Absolutely big advantage that artificial intelligence is helping us with. And T Squared loves, I love the acronym city. T Squared, acronym soup. A2A, ERP, all band SCM integration working together in the B2B space would definitely help in day-to-day cleanup and improving IQ, information quality. Yes. And LK is back with us. Larry Klein down in South Georgia. Great to see you here today. Okay.
Hey, can we get that T Squared on a T-shirt?
All right, T Squared. The challenge has been thrown down. Get T Squared on the T-shirt with T-shirt-isms. All right, moving right along. We got a lot more to get into here today on the March 11th, 2024 edition of The Buzz. We're going to move over to how can business-to-business companies really adapt to take advantage of all the things that digital transformation offers. So moving right along. Interesting read here from our friends at Bringos. I think I got that right. Bringos, which starts with referencing a Deloitte digital survey from last year. Check this out. So in 2023, Deloitte Digital, try to say that 3 times fast or 2 times fast, surveyed over 500 executives at B2B companies. Each had 1,000 or more employees at each of their organizations. 77% of the respondents said digital transformation is critical to their business. No surprise there, except maybe why it's not maybe a little bit higher, but leave that aside for now. But 71% of the same group said their company's business processes were moderately to extremely manual. Kind of hard to take advantage of digital transformation if you're highly manual, right? Using the elbow grease.
Yeah.
Now, Deloitte identified a portion of survey respondents as what they deemed front runners, those companies that were well down the digital transformation path and offered an enhanced digital commerce experience. They were about 16% of the companies that responded to the survey. Now, of that 16%, they had a 70% customer retention rate versus 49% of what I'll call the laggards. Right. Yes, right. Tremendous value, because we all know how expensive it is to get a new customer, and it's more expensive to keep your current customers, perhaps, or I think vice versa.
It's less expensive.
Vice versa. It's more expensive to get new customers. There we go. Now check out this quote from the report, and then I'm going to get Kevin and Mary Kate to weigh in. So this is from the Deloitte Digital report. Quote, today, customers want real-time access to inventory data and interactive product images. They expect transparent and personalized pricing quotes within minutes, not hours or days. And they prefer to track product delivery status on their own timetables rather than relying on contacting a service rep during specific working hours. Now, we're saying I raised my hand because I want all that stuff that quote just shared. So, Kevin, let's get your thoughts here on this read, that survey, how you see folks adapting to digital transformation. Your thoughts?
The number one question: where's my stuff?
Right.
And everyone has that question. Yeah, where's my stuff? I want to know where my stuff is right now, and I don't want to, use a phone or talk to a robot or talk to somebody anywhere in the world. I want my stuff dropped on my porch by a drone now.
Waiting so much for the 1980s. Who wants to wait these days, right? Nobody.
Right. So B2B companies really can automate many of these processes, including order management, invoicing, inventory management, and delivery management. This frees up resources so that people can focus on higher value activities. You really should embrace automation to position your company for long-term success. This includes moving to the cloud. Businesses can reduce costs associated with maintaining that physical IT infrastructure. You can enhance visibility across your supply chain and improve collaboration between the people you still need to rely on. These cloud-based applications give you the agility and the scalability needed for companies to adapt to different market changes. Tools like CRM and data analytics and getting that customer feedback, right? If you don't hear that where my stuff is from your customer, you don't know that your customer is waiting. You don't know they're dissatisfied. You can't take proactive actions to satisfy that customer. So B2B customers really need to prioritize collecting, analyzing, and leveraging data to improve their decision making across all aspects of their businesses. And this is where automation comes really into play.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, Kevin. Mary Kate, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just thinking as Kevin was talking about visibility. So, Scott, you and I talked last week, not from this article, but there was a stat that stood out to us about how 6% of companies say that they have visibility across their operations and supply chain. And, we all felt like that was a really low number. But then we started to think about how incredibly hard it is to have visibility on your internal operations, but definitely across your supply chain. And so, I think pulling in that data, using the right service providers is so important for that visibility, because as consumers, as our experience as consumers gets easier and easier to press buy, and then, like Kevin said, literally have a drone drop it on your doorstep.
Right.
Our business expectations increase too, right? So I think we're going to continue to see these companies that provide visibility set apart from companies that don't.
Well said. Absolutely. Here's what I was thinking as I was reading through the article, and then, of course, hearing you and Kevin kind of share your perspective. I think about my experiences on the web as a consumer years ago, especially in the manufacturing space as I was looking for new sourcing new providers, right? New suppliers. Inevitably, not just a couple of years ago, it's common practice. I'd send in my recs, right? What I needed, my specs. And then it was like, we'll be in touch. And how often did you do business with folks that said, we'll be in touch? You don't wait. You find your answers. That's right. And I think whether they're in, kind of in industry and manufacturing, or as a consumer going to buy stuff, Kevin, you want to get that information and make that transaction right then. And as on the company side, you don't want to lose those folks. You want to create that transaction opportunity right then. So this is really, I think, a timely read. And I really enjoyed both of your perspectives kind of from different angles. Kevin, you're about to add something.
Yeah. One thing you have to realize, this article is sort of focused on B2B.
Right.
But you realize the people that work in B2B, they were consumers first. They are used to the B2C services, and they expect that level of service from their B2B partners.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important to automate.
Kevin.
And the companies really are building these ecosystems so that it can deliver that B2C feel in the B2B space.
Kevin, yes. Look, when I say the Amazon effect, everybody might roll their eyes because that term has been around for 20 years. But the reason it has and the reason it's real is to your point, Kevin. As consumers, we all interacted and we marveled years ago, and still to a large degree today, of what it's like doing business with Amazon. And we want to take that same experience and carry it over to the B2B space, right? That's why we call it the Amazon effect. Mary Kate, you're nodding your head. Your quick thoughts before we move on.
Yeah, like I've said on a few shows, right? I'm like the return queen. I expect, I do a lot of online shopping. I'm head of procurement in my household pretty much. So I do a lot of that. And you're right, this Amazon effect carries over into business, but it also carries over into who I'm going to shop with
Right.
as a consumer as well.
That's excellent points. All right. Excellent points. We're at the halfway home point, folks. We got so much more to get to here today. Really enjoy Kevin and Mary Kate's perspective. Y'all weigh in. Let us know what you're thinking here, especially of these parallels between B2C, B2B, kind of what Mary Kate was just sharing there about the trusting nature of who we do business with. That's really, really important as well. Moving right along to our third big topic here today. Folks, as you may know, March is Women's History Month. Really important all year long, but certainly in March to celebrate the tremendous mountain moving impacts that women have had in our journey and elsewhere around the globe. Last Friday, many of y'all may know, March 8th, always is International Women's Day. So it's really, really important. I think of what's up close and personal, Mary Kate and Kevin, and all the incredible women and female leaders that make up the team here at Supply Chain Now, both on series and behind the scenes. Big thanks to Amanda and Catherine behind the scenes today, making it happen. But Mary Kate, when you think of the global supply chain industry, I think you've got some factoids that most of us might find interesting.
Yeah, so interesting when thinking about in supply chain as an industry is usually typically under manufacturing. So when I say manufacturing industry, I'm including supply chain. But there was an interesting stat that said 47% of the workforce is women, so close to 50%. But in the manufacturing industry, women only make up 29% of the workforce. Mm-hmm. And so, to be honest, that number was a little bit higher than what I had thought, just based on, tidbits over the year. If you've ever gone to a manufacturing or supply chain conference, we always laugh because the line out of the men's bathroom is typically, triple times the line out of the women's bathroom. But I feel like little steps like mentorship, so people taking on more mentorship opportunities or exposing young women to these careers that maybe they hadn't heard about before, which is a lot of the effort, right, in National Supply Chain Day coming up on April 29th, plug in for that. But these efforts of visibility and mentorship are only going to continue to shift that number up in manufacturing and supply chain, which is really, really encouraging to see.
Excellent comments there. Kevin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to highlight that this is International Women's Day, not just National Women's Day. I was talking to somebody the other day and they were saying, who makes up these things? I don't know, but but it's really important to understand that this is a global phenomenon that all of society is really focused on understanding, appreciating, and recognizing the value that women deliver to our entire society. It's critical. Mm-hmm. So yes, let's all embrace the International Woman.
Yeah.
Well said. And as Larry Klein says, yes, there is room for everyone. There should be room for everyone, right? Yep. Opportunities for all. I think it's really important to acknowledge as much progress that we have made in this area, nationally and internationally. Kevin, to your points, there's still lots of heavy lifting that still needs to be done. And it takes my mind to Theodore Lau, which Mary Kate and Kevin, we both are familiar with.
Theo.
Yeah, Theo. We included a great read from one of her articles in the most recent edition. And with that said, that really speaks to, with data, of just how much more work that we have to do to truly create opportunities for all. But, without these focused months and holidays such as Women's History Month and International Women's Day, I think that's helpful to bring focus, and whether we're acknowledging, how far we've come, or we're really admitting and keeping it real of what we still need to do. I think it's really important. That's where these holidays, I think, really help us out here. All right. So, Mary Kate, you mentioned National Supply Chain Day.
Yes.
And that is exciting. Coming up on April 29th. We're fortunate, Kevin, to have the founder right here on our team. So
I love that. I'll take
Kevin,
it.
you asked how those days get made, and it takes a Mary Kate Love.
It is.
The vision,
literally just
right?
apply. It's crazy.
That vision.
Well, we're going to power this global day of celebration and recognition to entirely new heights. And we've got an event set up April 29th, National Supply Chain Day, 12 noon Eastern Time, and in conjunction with our incredible friends at Vector Global Logistics and many others. Mary Kate, please tell us more.
Yeah, so we're super excited. Fun fact, we did a live stream together in 2020, which was the first National Supply Chain Day on April 29th. And we're kind of, bringing it back, reinvigorating it. And so we're excited to host this live stream. We'll be spotlighting people this year. So it's really about the people in supply chain. And, back to our point about visibility into careers that you didn't know existed, that is a huge undertone of the celebration on Monday, the 29th. So it'll be definitely fun. There's going to be some pictures, videos, people will talk about, stories we'll tell. And yeah, please register. It's an easy, if you go to supplychainnow.com/NSCD, you'll find everything you need to know. National Supply Chain Day is what that stands for.
Everything you need to know. And thank you, Mary Kate, because I'm a little bit slower and we've got a billion acronyms.
I know.
NSCD, National Supply Chain Day. Our team is dropping the link where there's a lot more information. We welcome you joining us to celebrate and lift up not just coast to coast, but really the profession around the world. And Mary Kate, I'm proud to serve alongside you, and I'm proud that you're part of our team. And I'm really proud of what you've done to, get the snowball effect. Right, you got to start somewhere, right, and then eventually we've got an army of folks recognizing this industry. Kevin, I know you're itching to talk about National Supply Chain Day. Your thoughts?
Well, I want an upgrade. I want it to be International Supply Chain Day.
Yes.
Soon.
Coming soon.
I love it.
But for now, you can check out this link for more information of how to jump in and join our efforts to really celebrate and recognize a day that's long overdue. Now, Kevin and Mary Kate, to add to this. Mm-hmm. So last Friday, I was at King Plow, right? Me and Clay and Tyler, shout out to them. We had a great time. Well, we were waiting on a shipment to get there, right? And stuff was on a pallet, right? So it was being brought to us by our friends at Southeastern Freight Lines. And the driver shows up, knocks on the door. His name's L.A., and I love that. I didn't ask him if it was Los Angeles or Lower Alabama. I didn't ask him. I should have, Kevin and Mary Kate. But folks, it's amazing. Cobra Kai was shooting at King Plow that day, so they had like an army of trucks, people, equipment everywhere. Didn't phase L.A. He put that truck in gear, pulled up by the dock door, backed that 28-foot trailer in no time, right?
Wow.
I'm just sitting there with my mouth open because he didn't even, most of us, if we're backing up our small little car, we take we pull forward like 5 times in tight spaces.
Right, exactly.
Shot, and it was perfect. And Mary Kate, in that moment, it was like for the billionth time, it was like, okay, we celebrate National Supply Chain Day.
Yeah.
For global people just like LA, they get no recognition and to make things happen just like that every single day. Mary Kate, your quick response.
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool about supply chain is it connects so many different types of people and types of careers. There's just an endless amount, and there's probably new jobs popping up that I don't even know about, right? And certainly there'll be new jobs in AI and supply chain, right, that we'll be talking about next year. So I just love how it connects so many different types of people.
That's right. Kevin.
Yeah.
Good, cool
optimizing
stuff.
routes. Yeah. Optimizing routes. How do you know when, you have these deliveries, you got to be at certain place at a certain time. And that's another way that AI can actually help
Yep.
real-time optimization of routing, and that improves your supply chain, and it helps you answer that question: where's my stuff?
Yeah.
Excellent point, Kevin. Excellent point. Because it's not just as easy these days as planning for nothing but right turns. It's not nearly that easy,
Right.
especially through cities like Atlanta, right? All
Right.
right,
Exactly.
a couple quick points here. So again, folks, check out National Supply Chain Day. We got the link there. You're one click away from learning how you can join our efforts. Also, T Squared, as he said before, supply chain management is no longer an optional appetizer. It's a must-have entree. I love
Fast.
that.
Option. Every business has a supply chain or
Right.
supply mesh, right?
That's
Because it's
right.
an ecosystem.
That's an ecosystem. That is the word of the day for sure. Here is let's see, Jeremy. Jeremy, great to have you here. He's tuned in via Twitter. He talks about some things we should be looking into. Dirigibles again, blimps, folks, blimps. Have we improved our material sciences though to do that? Can we better produce, store, manage hydrogen? Jeremy, that's an excellent point. An excellent point to make. And I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Or
and I can't
helium.
Google, yeah, or helium. I can't Google it
Yeah,
right
I want to
this
use hydrogen.
second, but
I
I'm
got the flash of that
the
dirigible
Hindenburg.
in Lakehurst, New Jersey. Yeah, the
Right,
Hindenburg.
Hindenburg, terrible. But Kevin and Mary Kate, to Jeremy's point, I'm almost positive because I was reading a white paper not too long ago that they are looking at blimps again on
Wow.
a grand new scale, which be used for everything from moving stuff to moving people and then some. So great to have you here, Jeremy. Great to see you. Okay,
Oh,
Mary Kate
I
and
see.
Kevin.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments there, and there's a reference to the National Digifoundry.
Who's this? So this
So
is this Kringle? I think Kevin, if I got that name right, Kringle.
yes,
The NDF, the National Digifoundry, has a work group
Digifoundry. Yeah.
for climate change disaster response. Kevin, that we're leveraging technology for climate change as well, right?
Well, actually, it's a little different than how it reads. Is actually how to improve the economics of a region so it's more resilient to disasters that may be caused by climate change. So we're looking at how to leverage technologies to improve the information economy in a region, to improve communications, and using what's called a DAO, distributed autonomous organization,
Okay.
so that the people there can better collaborate with first responders should a disaster hit, and also to enable the economy to recover much faster, because it's a virtual infrastructure that's communicating and interacting with a global economy. So
Okay.
all of this is it's I guess the information supply chain, right? So all of that's critical.
Completely
So
agree.
thank you very much for that shout out.
Agreed. Yeah, the information exchange, timely, complete, accurate, trusted information exchange. I mean, this is what makes up global supply chain, certainly global business, even.
Yes.
Mary Kate, your quick response before we move into our final topic of the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm agreeing. I'm nodding along with you guys. I don't think I have an extra bit on that one, but yes, good stuff.
You get it? Bit or bite?
Yeah.
I didn't miss that, Mary Kate.
That
I
was
didn't miss
pretty
that.
good. Marketing.
All right.
I like you, Mary Kate.
Mary Kate is a great addition to the digital to any of the buzz, but certainly the digital transformers edition of the buzz as well. And a lot of comments we can't get to here today. Man, they keep coming in fast and furious. Great to have everybody. All right, so Kevin and Mary Kate, we're going to finish on a different story here today in our final note here. So for many of our longtime listeners, you know that we're actively giving forward to the veteran community. I consider that to be one of our biggest callings in this life. Veteran homelessness, unfortunately, has been an ongoing challenge. I've seen it firsthand as I participated in a variety of initiatives that met and engaged our veterans that live on the streets. I think this article that we're pulling up here in a second references the Point in Time annual initiative, and I've done that on the streets of Atlanta. I think between the hours of 12 and 4 a.m. and saw some things that you can't forget. You just can't forget people that are existing in ways that you can't even think about. But there's good news, folks, and thankfully there is. According to the War Horse here, which is a new publication on my radar. Thank you, Mary Kate. According to the War Horse and data from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the population of homeless veterans, folks, it dropped by over 50% from 2010 to 2022. In fact, the states of Connecticut, Delaware, and Virginia, well, they say they have essentially ended homelessness among veterans. So, Mary Kate, this is welcome news. Welcome news.
Yeah.
We've been after, as a lot of folks know, Kevin and I are both veterans, and we've got our ear to the ground, and many of the initiatives that have been put into place for years, trying to address this and many other veteran challenges. So, but I understand from reading this article and the associated VA data that there's some transferable lessons to be learned here as it applies to ending homelessness in other areas. Is that right, Mary Kate?
Yeah, definitely. Two things stick out to me that I loved about this article and this approach. Number one is the simplicity of the approach to be housing first. And so when you think about servicing veterans or any group, right, you might get overwhelmed with, hey, where do we start? How do we start? And really their philosophy is, if everyone has a house that is stable, other things will follow, such as employment, such as mental health services, such as, being connected with family. So I love the simplicity of the approach about having stable housing, focusing on that. And secondly, what I love about this is really one of those, dare I say, few instances in which we see collaboration amongst local, state, and national working out really well. This is very much a bipartisan effort, so that's pretty cool to see. That we unfortunately don't see that a lot, but you need the local services, the shelters, the people that know who to service to be able to deliver these, initiatives coming down from the national level. So I love seeing the partnership with different entities to service these veterans in this scenario.
Yeah, well said, Mary Kate. Good stuff there. Kevin, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting that this came up right at this point, because actually with the NDF, one of our members is looking at providing affordable housing by leveraging digital assets. So what they are actually doing are buying apartments, and then the residents can pay rent, but a portion of that rent would go to ownership of the apartment. And you can do as little as 1% down. And they just completed, they're just writing up a use case of an apartment building in Missouri, I believe it was, where they proved this out. And you could actually, it could become basically a legacy to your family, so that everyone in your family will always have a place to stay, to live. And this is a great way for ending homelessness, not just for veterans, but for anyone. So we're looking for ways to extend that model to other regions across the nation.
Man, we're going to talk a lot more about that, Kevin. I love that initiative. And Mary Kate, thank you so much for finding this article. That is really interesting, folks. We dropped a link to it in the chat from our friends over at the War Horse, which I believe, Mary Kate, is a nonprofit news organization. That's
nonprofit, and I follow a newsletter called Nice News, and you can see why this is. I think sometimes we get bogged down in the headline news, and it's nice to have nice news too.
Yeah,
completely agree. All right, veteran related, folks. And I bring these things up not to say, hey, look at us. Not at all. I think I bring this up because with the proliferation, I think I'm using that the right word, I'll say this, with the plethora, even a better word, of the explosion of podcasts and live streams and webinars and all this digital media. There's a ton of lip service leadership around things like this, right? And there's lots of folks that say, hey, someone should do this, someone should do that. Well, folks, I'm really proud that working alongside Kevin and Mary Kate and Amanda and Catherine, that we are doing stuff about these issues. This month, actually in April in Atlanta, but timely conversation with Seth Deichman. He leads the Tillman Honor Run, Mary Kate and Kevin. So that is named in honor of Pat Tillman, former NFL player that volunteered to serve his country in Afghanistan, died in combat. And they have established a nonprofit in his name, in his tremendous honor, to help send military families and veterans, help pay for school and other needs that they have. We are honored to do some small measure to support the Tillman Honor Run. Y'all check that out. Google it. We can drop a quick note to that in the chat, because there are Tillman Honor Runs in, I think, a dozen different cities, coast to coast, maybe more. We're participating in the one in Atlanta. And then on a different note, Kevin and Mary Kate. And Kevin, you'll get a kick out of this in particular as a former naval aviator. Our fleet of aircraft, well, the unheralded maintenance folks are the folks that keep these fleets moving ahead. Aircraft, trucks, ocean vessels, you name it. And we are delighted to help support the Knucklebusters at McConnell Air Force Base in Kansas, where I spent a couple of years to support, recognize, and lift up those incredible maintainers that, I'm telling you, the miracles they perform on a weekly basis are remarkable. So, folks, check out your neck of the woods where you can plug in, whether you're helping solve big problems like veteran homelessness or supporting things like the Tillman Honor Run or Knucklebusters, or you name it. There are tremendous needs that can use not only your dollars, but your know-how and other resources. So check it out. Okay. And thank you all, Mary Kate and Kevin, for allowing me to make that plug. I think it's really important because the need is ongoing. You know, we've been at war for many, many years, and the need's only going to get bigger, right? The need's going to get bigger based on the changing, shifting demographics of our veteran community. So, Mary Kate, we have covered a ton of topics and takes, perspectives, POV, points of view here today between you and Kevin, all the folks in the comments, of course, the articles that we covered. I'm going to ask y'all both your favorite point either y'all made here today, or you heard here today, or you saw in the comments, you name it. And I'm going to start with Mary Kate, and Kevin, you're going to be the cleanup hitter. So Mary Kate, what was one of your favorite things that we covered here today on The Buzz?
I just love that we're, continuously highlighting, but especially today, how, wide and how connected supply chain is, how much supply chain connects the world, truly. And that's, we highlighted a lot of different technologies today. We highlighted a lot of different career opportunities. So I just love seeing that. And I think we really showcased that here today.
Well said. Well said, Mary Kate. It serves the world, also brings the world together for sure. Kevin, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Oh, no.
Let me plug you first. The best-selling author, Kevin L. Jackson, the Dynamo. He appears with us every second Monday of the month. We're gonna have to pull you and Mary Kate together because y'all are quite 1-2 punches, man.
Fun.
Wow, catalyst. She's a catalyst.
I tell you. But Kevin, what was one of your favorite things we talked about here today on the Digital Transformers edition of The Buzz?
It seems like we're talking about how our entire society is digitally transforming. And we looked at it from the business point of view, leveraging artificial intelligence, all the way to veteran homelessness. I think this is great. This is the way you look at an integrated society, and I love this. I love what we're doing. So anyone out there who likes this, don't forget Digital Transformers, my video podcast, where we focus on the people that are leveraging technology to improve the global society. And as I talked a bit about how digital assets are being used to help homelessness, provide affordable homes, I've actually, hopefully, we can put that in the stream here,
Yep.
the link to the team that's putting that together. The Zero Optra Labs.
Let's see if I
So
can't.
thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that right this second. This URL here that Kevin's talking about. I think we just dropped that there.
There it is. It's in there.
Okay.
Yes.
The Optra Labs. I said that right? .com. The
Yes.
optralabs.com. Is that right, Kevin?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, folks, so you want to explore that one solution, that one initiative that Kevin was saying earlier, check out that link and be sure to connect and listen to and lean in and engage Digital Transformers wherever you get your podcasts. But Mary Kate, it's the only one with the Kevin L. Jackson, right? There may be others.
Yes.
The front runner, as Deloitte put it. Well, this has been great, Mary Kate and Kevin. What a great, well-rounded, very holistic episode of The Buzz. Really enjoyed both of y'all being here and more importantly, your perspective here. Mary Kate, if folks want to connect with you, the cool things you're doing here at Supply Chain Now, the cool things you're doing at National Supply Chain Day, how can they do that?
Yeah, LinkedIn, Mary Kate Love, easiest name ever, so I don't need to spell it for you. Right, that's easy. And then or on Twitter, MK Love too. So either way, I'm always on those two platforms.
Awesome. And the one and only Kevin L. Jackson, fearless leader of Digital Transformers. How can folks connect with you?
Yes. Hopefully they're connecting right now on LinkedIn or Kevin_Jackson on the X, where we're streaming live today. I think this is great. I like this.
Awesome.
And also wherever you get your podcast, Digital Transformers. Thank you very much to the audience.
Awesome time here today, folks. Hey, on behalf of our entire team here, Mary Kate, Kevin, Catherine, Amanda, the whole team here at Supply Chain Now, we challenge you, take one thing that Mary Kate and Kevin dropped here today, put it into action. These not words. Improve your team, improve your performance. Hey, your colleague's going to be happy you did. But whatever you do, Scott Luton challenge you to do good, give forward, and be the change that's needed. And we'll see you next time right back here at Supply Chain Now. Thanks, everybody.
All right.